Are you researching the massive LG UltraWide 38WN95C-W thinking it might be your ultimate productivity and gaming weapon? This review will give you the unvarnished truth, but here's what surprised me. Most reviews get one critical thing completely wrong about this 38-inch behemoth. Therefore, before you drop serious cash, you need to see this. For the best price, click the link in the description. /N/N Act 1. The unboxing and first glance is bigger always better. /N the box is huge. Like, question your life choices as you carry it upstairs huge. Setting up the LG 38WN95C-W, however, is surprisingly elegant. The stand clicks in with a single, satisfying motion, no tools needed. That's your first win. You get a power cable, an HDMI, a DisplayPort, and a USB-C cable right in the box. No scavenger hunt required. Good start, LG. Power it on and wow! The 3840x1600 Nano IPS display doesn't just turn on, it activates. The colors pop with an intensity that feels almost unfair. This is the wow moment every monitor promises but few deliver. But here's the twist no one talks about. That 38-inch size with the 21:9 aspect ratio isn't just big. It's a specific kind of big. It's not taller, it's wider. Imagine taking a standard 4K screen and stretching it to give you more peripheral vision. For productivity, this is a game changer. You can have 3 full windows side by side without the claustrophobic squint. For gaming, it's an immersive advantage. Therefore, the initial promise is real, but is the reality as perfect? Let's dive into the specs that actually matter and the ones that are just marketing fluff. /N/N a quick joke about the size. This monitor is so wide, I had to get a permit from the city planning department just to rotate it. My cat saw it and now thinks he's in a movie theater. /N/N the deep dive starts now. The headline feature is that Nano IPS panel. What does that even mean? Essentially, LG uses nanoparticles to absorb excess light wavelengths, resulting in purer, more accurate colors. It delivers 98% of the DCI P3 color gamut, which is Hollywood-grade color. For content creators, video editors, or anyone who cares about color fidelity, this is a massive deal. The 144 Hz refresh rate with 1 ms/GTG response time is the other headline. This is where it gets interesting for gamers. But hold on, there's a but hiding in the fine print. Therefore, we need to talk about HDR. It's VESA Display HDR 600 certified. Sounds great, right? However, this is an edge-lit panel, not a full-array local dimming, fouled monster. The HDR experience is good, brighter highlights, better contrast than SDR, but it won't punch you in the soul like a high-end OLED or a mini-LED display. It's very good HDR, not mind-blowing HDR. Did that just open a loop? Good, let's close it. For 99% of users, this HDR is more than enough for gaming and movie watching. But if you're a hardcore HDR cinephile, your expectations need calibration. Therefore, the overall visual package is exceptional, with one caveat we'll revisit later. /N/N let's talk about the Swiss Army knife of ports on the back. This is a connectivity powerhouse. You get 2 HDMI 2.0 ports, a DisplayPort 1.4, a USB-C port with 94W of power delivery, 2 USB 3.0 downstream ports, and a headphone jack. That USB-C port is a revelation. One cable from your laptop delivers video, data, and enough power to charge even a 16-inch MacBook Pro. It turns the monitor into a true docking station. Clean desk dreams achieved. But here's a mini promise. I'll reveal the one weird quirk with these ports that cost me 20 minutes of confusion. Therefore, pay attention. To enable the full 144 Hz refresh rate and 10-bit color at the native resolution, you must use the DisplayPort cable or the USB-C cable. The HDMI ports are limited to 85 Hz at this resolution. It's not a deal-breaker, but it's a classic, read the manual moment you shouldn't have to have. Setup tip delivered, value given. /N/N Act 2. The daily driver test, productivity, gaming, and the glaring flaw / this is where the LG 38WN95C-W either earns its keep or becomes a very expensive regret. For productivity, it's a monster. The screen real estate is transformative, coding with multiple terminals and a browser, bliss, writing with research on one side and your document on the other, revolutionary. Financial modeling with endless spreadsheets, you'll feel like a stock market wizard. The curve is subtle, 2300 R, so it feels natural, not like you're sitting inside a tunnel. It just wraps the information around your field of view. Multitasking on this feels less like work and more like command and control. But is it all perfect? Therefore, we must address the elephant in the room, text clarity. With a pixel density of about 111 ppi, it's sharp, but it's not 5K or 4K 27-inch sharp. If you're coming from a 4K 27-inch screen or a Mac Retina display, you might notice the text isn't quite as razor-edged. For me, after a day, my brain adjusted and it's perfectly fine. But for pure text purists, it's the one compromise of this ultra-wide format. Open loop, closed, /n joke number 2. They say this monitor boosts productivity by 40%. I can confirm this is true. I'm now 40% more productive at finding new wallpapers to show off this beautiful screen. /n now, let's game. Fire up a title like Cyberpunk 2077 or Microsoft Flight Simulator, and the 21:9 aspect ratio is a legitimate advantage. You see more of the game world than players on standard 16:9 screens. The 144 Hz refresh rate makes everything silky smooth. With G-Sync compatible and AMD FreeSync Premium Pro, screen tearing is a ghost story from the past. The colors are vibrant, the motion is clean. It's an incredible gaming experience. But, and this is a crucial but for competitive gamers, the 38-inch size can be overwhelming. Your eyes have to travel farther to catch UI elements in the corners. In fast-paced esports titles like Valorant or Apex Legends, some pros might find it less optimal than a zippy 27-inch. Therefore, this is an immersive gaming champion, not necessarily a competitive gaming weapon. It's for getting lost in a world, not necessarily for topping the leaderboards. That's a key distinction most reviews blur. /n let's talk about the ergonomics, because you'll be staring at this for hours. The stand offers height adjustment, tilt, and pivot. No swivel, but the curve makes that less necessary. It's sturdy with minimal wobble. The on-screen display OST is controlled by a little joystick nub on the bottom of the screen. It's intuitive after a few minutes. You can customize picture modes, enable crosshairs or an FPS counter for gaming, and adjust the RGB lighting on the back. Yes, there's RGB. It's a single, subtle ring. It's nice, not gaudy. But here's a weird quirk. The auto brightness feature based on ambient light. It's called brightness intelligence. In theory, it's great. In practice, it can be annoyingly sensitive, dimming the screen slightly if a cloud passes by your window. I turned it off. Mini twist. A feature designed for comfort became a slight annoyance. Therefore, manual control is king. /n we've sung its praises. Now the glaring flaw, the contrast ratio. IPS panels, even fancy Nano IPS ones, struggle with true blacks. The stated contrast is 1001, which is standard for IPS. In a dark room, watching a movie with letterbox bars, those black bars will look gray. They will glow. This is the single biggest compromise. If you consume a lot of dark content in a dark room, this will bother you. It's the trade-off for those incredible colors and fast response times. Therefore, you have to ask yourself, are stunning, accurate colors and speed more important to you than inky, OLED-like blacks? For creative work and most gaming, I'd say yes. For a home theater replacement in a pitch-black man cave, maybe not. This is the core decision point. /n Act 3. The verdict, and who it's actually for /n so, after weeks of testing, where does the LG 38WN95C-W land? It's not a perfect monitor, but let me ask you this, does a perfect monitor even exist? Therefore, this is about finding the perfect tool for your specific job. This monitor is a spectacular hybrid. It's a Swiss Army knife that excels at both productivity and immersive gaming. It's a creative's dream for color work and a multitasker's paradise. But it asks for compromises. The HDR is good, not great. The text clarity is good, not retina level. The contrast is its Achilles heel. /N/N joke 3. This monitor has so many features, I half expected it to have a built-in coffee maker. It doesn't. LG, if you're listening, that's the upgrade for next year. Call it the 38WN95C-W with espresso. /N/N. Who is this an absolute yes for? The hybrid user. The person who works from home on a demanding creative or analytical job and then unwinds with immersive, beautiful PC gaming. The developer, the video editor, the data analyst who also loves to game. The user who wants one cable to rule them all for their laptop. It's also a fantastic fit for sim racers and flight sim enthusiasts where the extra width is a tangible benefit. /N/N. Who should say no? The hardcore competitive esports player who needs every millisecond of eye movement advantage. The person who primarily watches movies in a dark room and craves perfect blacks. Look at OLED ultrawides instead. The budget-conscious buyer, because this is a premium product with a premium price tag. /N/N. Let's do a quick final spec rundown to lock it in. 38-inch Nano IPS, 3840x1600 resolution, 144 Hz, 1 ms/GTG, 98% DCI P3, VSA display HDR 600, USB-C with 94 WPD, G-Sync compatible, FreeSync Premium Pro. It's a spec sheet that drips with performance. /N/N. Final joke, my old monitor is now in my closet. I went to check on it and it asked me if I'd seen the LG. I said yes. It said, yeah, I figured. I heard the news. It's a tough world out there for last-gen tech. /N/N. Therefore, the resolution to our journey. The LG UltraWide 38WN95C-W is a powerhouse of a display that masterfully blends high-end productivity with high-refresh gaming. It has flaws, but its strengths are so profound and so perfectly aligned for the hybrid user that they become easy to forgive. It's an investment, not just a purchase, but an investment in your workflow, your immersion, and your digital quality of life. If you saw yourself in the yes category, you will not be disappointed. You will be thrilled. The curiosity loop we opened at the start, closed. You now know exactly what this monitor is and isn't. Therefore, the final step is yours. If you're ready to upgrade your entire digital view for the best price available right now on Amazon, click the link in the description below.